Think and destroy.
Light core.
So, we are going to a library to hunt for old books. Boring!
Wow, this place is incredible. Look at all these books. I could stay in here forever.
Stay focused, Hugo. We're here for one thing, to figure out how to stop the darkness. And be careful. This is no ordinary library.
Come on, Callie, it's just a bunch of stupid moldy books. It's the most boring quest ever.
Flynn!
Ah, gotcha!
You see? And that's why I don't read.
The Coming of the Darkness by Pumphrey LaFuzzbottom. Great job, Flynn! This is exactly what we're looking for.
It is? I mean, of course it is. You know, I gotta admit that first chapter really pulls you in.
Light core. Skylanders of the dark element are stronger in this
I
zone.
think I found a book about the darkness. But since this library is cursed, it might be best if you open it. There has got to be something within these pages that will give us a clue to stopping it. Have a look, Skylander, and be careful.
Before creating the portals, the ancients explored the universe using magical relics called rift engines. But in their haste to spread the light of Skylands to other worlds, they created a powerful rift engine that opened a door to a forbidden world and unleashed a destructive force into Skylands, the darkness. Centuries later, in the age of the Portal Masters, the Skylanders had become the greatest champions the world had ever known. No enemy or debris could stand before their might. But the darkness was still out there, somewhere, laying in wait.
Activate.
Suddenly, tremors and aftershocks rumbled throughout the land. Some great evil was being conjured in the arcane keep of the Spellpunks. The devious Spellpunks had unearthed the very same cursed relic that had allowed the darkness into Skylands centuries ago. The Dark Rift Engine. The Spellpunks had to be stopped before they could use its power to awaken the darkness. But the way to the Citadel had grown treacherous. Danger sprang from the shadows. Spellpunks were drawing magic from the Dark Rift Engine, feeding power to the darkness.
Level up.
Acquired.
Skylanders fought their way through the danger, charging into the mouth of the Spellpunk Keep.
System shutdown. Bring the boom!
But then, without warning, all of Skylands began to quake. And a wave of fear swept over the land as a great and terrible shadow erupted from the keep. It bellowed in a deep and malevolent voice. Behold, Skylands, I have returned. All shall fear and obey me. I am the darkness.
I had always heard that it was the ancients who let the darkness into Skylands, but I've never heard about that Dark Rift engine. Still, we don't know how they managed to finally defeat it. We'll have to keep looking, Skylander. Maybe one of the others found something useful.
Root punch!
Hey, Skylander, look at this!
Cultivating talent. Nutritious. Right for the picking.
Wanna try a game of Skystone's Overdrive, Skylander? I found this old...
Your turn. Bone Chompy. Fisticuffs. Your turn. Bone Chompy. Chompy Mage. Overdrive ready. Captain Bristlestash. Overdrive ready. Krankenstein. Defeated.
Great game, Skylander. Come back and play again sometime.
Your turn. Flitter Glimmer. Fisticuffs. Your turn. Flitter Glimmer. Chompy Mage. Overdrive ready. Cauldron. Overdrive ready. Shield Shredder. Your turn. Shadowlin. Your turn. Burn cycle. Hood sickle. Your turn. Spell Slamzer. Frankenstein. Your turn. Golden Queen. Overdrive ready. Cross Crow. Overdrive ready. Burn cycle. Victory.
I'll get you next time, I'm sure.
Hey, Skylander, look at this. You should try this. A charge. All right, we'll come back with a sky vehicle when you're ready.
Hey, Skylander, you gotta see this book. Looks like this one here talks about how the core of light got made to give the darkness the old beatdown. There's probably more inside, but I'm not really in a hurry to crack it open, if you know what I mean, because it's kind of cursed, but you go right ahead.
The War of the Darkness had nearly been lost as all of Skylands was being held in its terrible grip. But there was one chance. A mythical device built by the ancients to combat the darkness had been discovered. It was called the Core of Light. But finding its location would be the most dangerous mission of them all.
Skylanders of the tech element are stronger in this zone.
Someone's been eating their vegetables. Ooh, extra shade.
The darkness knew the core of light would be its end, and so it attacked. Its dark power was beyond comprehension. It shattered mountains and bridges with casual disdain. The darkness's rage was earth-shaking and all-consuming, for it knew that in order for its power to grow, the core of light must stay hidden. Undaunted, even in the face of this great evil, the Skylanders continued the quest. It called forth its evil servants to do its terrible bidding. But they would fall before the Skylander like limp bundles of experience and treasure. The darkness grew desperate. Again and again it attacked with renewed fury. And then, after a long journey, the lost citadel of the Portal Masters had been reached. The radiant purity of the core of light had been found at last. But in the distance, the darkness raged on.
Wowzers! Looks like the darkness almost conquered Skylands back in the olden days until they used the trusty core of light. But it stopped right before the good part. I totally can't wait to find out what happens next. Maybe the one Max found will have more info. Don't keep me in suspense!
Hey there, Skylander! Check this out! I'm not sure it'll help us much, but it's kind of a cool raid. It's all...
Dive bomber.
Servants of the darkness were known for keeping a lethal menagerie of creatures and beasts. None was more terrifying than the multi-headed monstrosity known as the Hydra. The Hydra's appetite for both food and destruction was without limit. Dark Portal Masters, in an effort to appease their favorite pets, gathered all the food in Skylands and dropped it in the sea. The people, hungry and deprived of all sustenance, called on their heroes, the Skylanders, for aid. The Skylander, heedless of danger, dove into the shadowed and endless depths of the sea to face the Hydra. But the lair of this Hydra was fraught with peril, danger, and exploding proximity mines. But the Hydra was not the only dangerous creature in this deep sea. Ravenous Hydra hatchlings hid, coiled in the rocks, and would strike without warning. The fabled fracture fish of Foul Falls swam these waters briefly. Ever deeper into the abyss the Skylander traveled. Finally, the Skylander descended into the lair of the Hydra. There was the pilfered food. Without hesitation, the Skylander snatched up the food. The sea rumbled and quaked as the Hydra woke. The heads of the Hydra lashed out in rage. The Skylander was cornered. Until a secret passage out of the lair was revealed. The Skylander sped away. This food was too important to risk. Faster and faster the Skylander swam. But the Hydra's speed was incredible. It churned the water into a swirling foam, gaining and gaining on the Skylander. But just up ahead, that geyser, could it? It could! The various and many jaws of the Hydra snapped at the jets of water in frustration. It had been robbed of its prize and vengeance. The Skylander returned the stolen food to the people of Skylands, thwarting this creature of darkness.
Gosh and golly, that was some story, Skylander! Makes you... I bet the next book is gonna be even more exciting than this one! I think Hugo's finally managed to decide on one. You should go find him before he changes his mind!
Hot streak. Supercharged.
Oh, hi, Skylander. I'm glad... Well, don't wait too long. We need to get back to the Academy soon.
Treasure. Money.
So, what I am thinking for this tale is a sort of... It chases the hero, destroying all in its wake.
Flame and fortune. Treasure. Flame and fortune.
And then, you know, the hero escapes, a little richer, a little wiser. What do you think? Too highbrow? The forces of good had discovered the hidden location of the core of light, but they soon realized that the ancients had never completed this great machine, a secret that to this day has been forgotten. But with the darkness closing in for the final blow, they had no choice. They would power up the core and risk everything in a final battle. and they would hope that even an incomplete core of light would be enough to keep the darkness at bay. The Skylander sped into action. There was only one chance. An all-out attack to drive the darkness toward the core itself. But the darkness would not go easily. The darkness laid snares and traps for the Skylander. The Skylander, however, would not be halted.
Block brook. Volcanic. Hot mods.
Desperate, the darkness unleashed its full power. Its dark might seared the sky, tearing across the land. Their battle echoed across all Skylands, trading blows that shattered islands in their wake. Inch by inch, it was pushed back until it was in range of the core. And then its glorious light filled the sky. With the core of light holding it at bay, it was forced to flee and hide in the deepest, darkest parts of Skylands once again. But for how long? One day it will return for its revenge. In order to destroy the darkness once and for all, the secret to completing the core of light and unleashing its true power must be found. This will be my life's work.
Any ideas?
The Fuzzbottom!
What'd you call me?
Callie is right. You must seek out the author of that book. If any living being knows how to complete the core, it is Pumphrey LaFuzzbottom.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go find this pom-pom fuzzy bottom guy and turn this core of light into the most awesome weapon ever.
That's Tessa! She shouldn't be trying to fly in these skies. It's too dangerous.
Hopefully the bird broke her fall.
Whoa, that looked like a pretty hard landing. You'd better go check on Tessa, Skylander. I need to examine the book we got from the Spellpunk library for leads on Pumphrey's whereabouts.
Woohoo! Are you ready for a new magical upgrade?
Whoa! Total flare-up! This fire is out of control.
Woohoo!
In a class on my own. Flashy.